Do you like my YouTube videos? If you do, please leave a comment and actually click on the like button. And if you want, you can hit subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with all my YouTube videos. Hey, and go ahead and click that bell icon to be notified. Thanks. Take care, guys. Guess who's back? Back again. Oh, I don't want to get a copyright strike for music, but she's back. Why don't we tell our friends? That's right. We are here. It's been a couple weeks. The Neglected Bearded Dragon series. Patreon has spoken. Patreon has given me a lot of name suggestions. One couple people had suggested, and we looked through, and there were a couple people who pushed for Khaleesi. I gotta move on from the Game of Thrones. It's kind of too overused, but it wasn't a bad suggestion. And then there was a bunch of good names, but I really like Ripley. So, guys, this is Ripley. Thank you, Patreon. Used in a lot, but probably the main one from the Aliens movies. And, you know, in those movies, Ripley is kind of a badass, right? Remember when she gets in and she gets in that, like, mech, and she's like, I know how to pilot this, and she gets in and the guys are impressed. Well, I think we have some impressive stuff going on here. So I think she's a badass. I think she's a fighter. So we're going with Ripley. Why haven't I filmed some updates on her? There's been a pause, right? I was knocking them out every weekend. Well, guys, basically because I've been doing the same thing with her, and I don't want to just make a video with the same exact thing. We do physical therapy, and she moves around. And I thought that today now is a good day to show that, especially with brumation getting closer. She's just naturally going to start going to the cool side of her tank and relaxing and not be as active. But you may have picked up on that. She's going to the cool side of her tank. That's right. She's moving around in her tank on her own, all the way from one end to another. And I hope to get that on video. Oh, and now she's just waking up now, so she's kind of tired, but I'm going to show you what we've been doing. And it's really important. Hi, little girl, how you doing? So everyone will remember, it's this arm here is the arm that's got trouble. And if you recall, she had really trouble kind of straightening it out and everything. I showed you all of her limbs before. I gave you a good breakdown. You know, her back limbs move real nice. This arm moves real good. But this arm. So what have we been doing? And you can see this finger. This finger may have been broken at one point, and then unfortunately healed up like this because it just doesn't bend at the joint. So that's going to be like that. I don't feel like taking her in to break this finger and then having it heal straight. It's something that the vet has discussed can be done and is actually not too painful once you give them pain meds, but the quality of life isn't really being affected by that. So I've been taking her, and we're going to show you what we've been doing. We're going to show you our physical therapy routine, because a lot of people have asked, you know, what do you do for physical therapy with a bearded dragon? And unfortunately, a lot of bearded dragons that get MBD, sometimes people will just give them their diet and they'll just leave them alone in their cage, and they'll just be like, yeah, it's going to move, you know, messed up for the rest of its life. It doesn't need to be true. So I've been strengthening her. So I'll pick her up like this on her front 2 feet. So we've got weight being distributed, just her weight and not her entire body weight, since this area here is still on the ground, on her 2 feet like this to begin with. And we're just going to hold her, and we'll move a little bit, but and it's all going to be slow. But I do this for quite a while, every single day. Probably an hour broken up, and we just do this to help her joints hold her under her body weight, and it will get to the point where she pushes herself up, and we do that with her joints close to her like this, and we do that with her joints opened up like this, and this is really important, so that way she can, you know, get some use. We'll also stretch and we'll rotate her joints, so while she's like this, I get a good grip. And remember, this arm didn't want to open straight before. It stayed like bent at about a 45-degree angle. Whereas this arm, when turned and put in the correct position, there it is, could open perfectly straight like a dragon's supposed to do. Well, and guys, I'm not recommending you do this because you've got to be really careful because you can hurt the dragon when you do this, and you can feel it. But I've been stretching this arm over here, so just slowly pulling it out. Grab her by the side and just slowly pulling it out and turning it. Yeah, there we go. She's starting to get a little active now because she knows what we're doing. And slowly stretching that arm. And you can feel it get to the point where it gets stuck. And that's just where we hold it for a little bit. But look at how much this arm stretches now. I mean, we've had really good progress. It's near straight. And in the beginning when I was doing this, I wouldn't go this far in the very beginning, and it was definitely causing her pain. And you could feel it too. You can feel it in there, guys. You can feel when the muscles get to the point you used to be able to feel the bone, resisting and everything. But over time, it just was going more and more and stretching out, and she wouldn't be bothered by it more and more. And so I would get it in this full position and I would just move it around. And this is why I don't recommend, guys, if you don't know what you're doing, if you've never done this before, don't do this. I'm showing you what I do, but otherwise leave this to a vet or someone who has done it. But because you can injure your dragon. But the big thing is you watch her face. You're looking for an open mouth. You're looking for pain. You're looking for her beard to turn really far black. Or you're looking for her to get away. Because remember, she can move. But she doesn't do any of that. And we've got an arm that straightens out. Now, in the beginning, there was pain, and I would never take it. I would take it to the limit of where pain just started to happen and slowly ease out. But that pain started to go away more and more. And as I stretched it, the points where it would... I don't know how to explain, guys, but you just feel it getting to the maximum point before. That point kept moving further and further back, which was really impressive. So I knew she was, she's getting to a good spot. So just try to hold her up like this. She puts herself up almost like doing push-ups. I bring her down. I bring her up. This has been our physical therapy. Support the body. She'll push herself up, push her down like this with her arms back. Really good. So right here we have both arms tucked forward. They're in the same good spot. Let's see if I can bring this camera up and bend down. I really want to show you guys what's going on here. Both arms are bent like this. Then we take both arms out kind of like a W, like that. Very nice. Then we rotate both. Remember, palms are going to face towards the inside. Take them back like this. And it's before she had just no way to do this type of maneuvering. She was just so down. Now the nice thing is we can take advantage while she's tired with brumation, but we'll get some food out here after she's done, and she'll be nice and happy. But we can check both elbow joints. They're nice and equal. They move real good. We'll pop her back up. There we go. And I just repeat this process, and it's helped a ton because, see if we move her. She's gained so much of her mobility back. Now, she might not be moving right now, of course, because she's being filmed, but she actually moves all the time in her tank, which is really impressive. Hey, we're going to move around or not? No, we're not, because you're on video. Oh, but you're going to look at me. So she doesn't move like normal, but she moves around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the camera somehow set up by her tank and put her on one end of the tank, the hot end, because remember, she's going into brumation. So they're all going to the cool end of their tank to just kind of relax and chill for a month or two. But what that's going to do is it's going to force her to move to the cool end. And admittedly, I've been doing that every other day. but this is probably the last week that that's happening, because then I've just been really impressed. She'll never move like normal. She'll never be 100% like normal in the leg, but her just being able to move around and lift herself and go after food and go to her water bowl has been such a huge improvement. I mean, I can't get over how huge it's been. And she just eats, and she just is normal, you know. She does real good now, right? So I'm gonna attempt to get that camera set up, guys, and just do a quick little, maybe not a time lapse because I don't think she moves too fast to activate the camera, but a video, and then just speed it up and then clip it on the end of this. All right, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking these videos and giving me the encouragement to keep rescuing these guys, because your likes help with the algorithm. I know I say it every video. And Patreon, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for the name, and thank you for all the support and all the great wishes. And I hope you like the bonus content that I get to post on there from time to time, videos and pictures. Take care, everybody.